I ordered you not to address me, Kwame. Now, let's start again.
Welcome back to another video, Miraculers. I know it's likely getting old, but Lila is a fantastic villain for this series. I love every direction Miraculous Ladybug is taking with her character this season, and something is exciting about her character being shrouded in mystery. Despite spending seasons getting to know her and seeing her on screen, I almost feel like she's a new character. It's as if the Butterfly Wielder is one of her alter egos, one she plays to fool her enemies and the audience alike. The writing for her character is phenomenal, and I would return to each new episode for her story alone. Which naturally leads me to the question, how will it end? I aim to answer that by discussing a few possibilities in today's video.
For no one to be able to ignore your drawings anymore.
I can give you this power. If you agree, of course.
Yes!
Number 1, the ultimate end. For a series targeted toward a younger demographic, Miraculous Ladybug isn't afraid to explore darker storylines for a compelling narrative. In the final moments of the 5th season, it seemed that Gabriel's arc would have an unexpected twist at the very end, where he would agree with Marinette and abandon his plan to save Emily. Technically, he does abandon his plan, but it's a half-hearted attempt at self-redemption, as he trades his life for Natalie's, which allows him to reunite with Emily like he desperately wanted. I always knew Gabriel's death could be possible, but it was always low on my prediction list. I anticipated that Ladybug and Cat Noir would unmask his secret identity, like in the Cat Blanc timeline, which would lead to his arrest and loss of the Butterfly Miraculous. While Adrien would still lose his father, this seems like the happier ending of the story. The writers behind the series wanted something less predictable, and they delivered. It also means they'll need to one-up the Gabriel twist with Lila's story if they want it to sit with the audience long after the series ends. One way to do this is to let Lila live, taking an opposite approach to ending her story. However, that's the first thing everyone expects. They could subvert our expectations at the last moment by killing her off in the most dramatic way possible. Unlike Gabriel, who made the choice himself, one of our heroes may have to do something drastic to prevent Lila from ending the world. Well, their world. Imagine a final battle between Lila and the Miraculers. The heroes are spent after fighting swarms of akumatized villains. Lila manages to take the Butterfly Miraculous and, knowing that he's next, Cat Noir decides to use his cataclysm for the sake of the world.
Mother?
I'm doing it for her, Adrien. For you. For us.
Father?
Number 2, she makes her wish. Lila taking the Ladybug and Cat Miraculous could be the end of her story. In Miraculous World London, Bunnix and Ladybug learn that whatever wish the new Butterfly Wielder has will erase their universe entirely. That outcome is much different from Gabriel's wish, as he didn't alter anything in the past. He merely cured someone's health and traded his life, which only impacted the future. It's impossible to tell what will change about the world once Lila's wish comes to fruition. Because we've yet to learn about her ultimate goal, we can only assume that changing the past will have a butterfly effect that will impact the rest of human history. If she was only changing something within her lifetime, we could assume the timeline would change from that point of origin. For example, if something traumatic happened in her early childhood and she wanted to alter it, the timeline would need to branch from there, creating an alternate timeline. Again, these alterations should result in alternate timelines as seen in Cat Blanc and Ephemeral, not wash their universe from existence. Therefore, whatever Lila wishes for is on a catastrophic scale and is intentionally made to change the fabric of the world. Once she has what she needs, her story could end and we may be left with a new chapter in Miraculous Ladybug, where we can revisit our beloved heroes and see how they've changed now that they've grown up in an altered universe.
Tiki! Lag! Someone's making a wish, but how could anyone do that without the Miraculous?
Number 3, she finds redemption. Given her universe-ending plans, Lila receiving a redemption arc is the least likely of her possible endings. However, the writers would need to do something surprising to keep the audience engaged, and creating a profound redemption arc for a prolific manipulator who has lost her way could be the way to do so. All of this to say it's not impossible, and where Ladybug failed to talk Gabriel down, she could succeed in reasoning with Lila. Marinette managed to prevent Gabriel from reviving Emily because she appealed to his human nature. She knew he must have cared for Adrien and used that emotional connection as a negotiation tactic. She also relied on their previous interactions and former knowledge of one another. Her words likely felt more authentic and genuine when she spoke to him as Marinette, rather than as Ladybug. She could use these same tactics with Lila, which may be more effective the second time. Again, we still don't know where Lila comes from, why she wants to make a wish, or what motivates her. She may relate to Marinette more than anyone realizes, which may also explain why she dislikes her so much. Only time will tell if this approach will succeed, but the more I think about it, the more I would enjoy a narrative where Lila and Marinette start to parallel one another. We're already off to a great start given the amount of secrets Marinette is keeping from her loved ones, and she's bound to realize she has more in common with Lila than she's comfortable with.
The wish!
Number 4, she's unmasked. A villain is only as good as their tricks, and Lila's best is her ability to blend in with any crowd. She's a master of disguise capable of changing her appearance for any situation and adapting to any social situation effortlessly. Despite Marinette's continued warnings about her true colors, these skills allowed her to become beloved in Miss Boustier's class. In the 6th season, she re-enrolled in their school under the name Cerise, adopting a new identity to keep tabs on her former classmates. She also maneuvers around Paris without anyone noticing. In The Illustrator, she sits at the same cafe as Marinette and Adrien, spying on their date from the sidelines. She appears to take notes on them and then leaves without them being aware of her presence. We don't know what she's putting in these journals, but she has hundreds of them and appears to dedicate all her free time to filling them with information. Lila is good at what she does, but it's only a matter of time before one of the Miraculers realizes they're being followed. Certain team members are equally observant and clever. They are more than capable of outsmarting her. I don't know about you, but I would love to see a battle of wits, Centabubbler style, between Lila, Marinette, Alia, and Felix. If they discover Lila is following them, it shouldn't take long for them to put the pieces together and track the Butterfly Miraculous down.
It didn't work! It didn't work!
Number 5, she's betrayed. At the moment, Lila is content to work alone. When she first retrieved the Butterfly Miraculous, she resorted to akumatizing herself to get things done, and she continues to be self-sufficient while finding akumatized villains. She has no reservations about recalling an Akuma if one of her villains defects from her plans, and she will use them to launch her own attacks, taking away their autonomy to use her anti-Kumas against the heroes. She even forces Nuru into silence, unwilling to hear his opinions or form a bond with him. In most of his appearances this season, he is lying prone, forced into a life of stasis, while Lila writes beside him. She likely views allies as weak links and unnecessary risks. However, as with Gabriel and Chloe, she has made alliances when necessary. All it would take is for Lila to ally with the wrong person, someone who could earn her trust and then betray her, taking their information to the proper authorities. It would be bittersweet if Lila's first real friend turned against her in the end, but by going to the police or the Miraculers, said friend could allow Lila's story to end peacefully, which may be one of her happier outcomes.
Are you sure this is all really necessary? Silence!
It's impossible to say how Lila's story could end when it's just the beginning, but I believe these are strong contenders. There are past episodes that hint at Lila keeping her Miraculous until she's in her mid-20s, if not later, which means we'll have a long way to go before we see the end of her reign. So there's plenty of time for redemption, betrayal, and shocking discoveries. I can only hope that she won't succeed in making her ultimate wish in the end, as doing so would lead to the end of Miraculous Ladybug as we currently know it.
Then a bit of this, then a bit more of this.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
We can chase that villain all we want, but we'll never catch up to them. We can't even touch them.